friends. How are you? Good. Thank you for joining me again. We are going to do starfish art together. It's going to be super fun, and I'm really excited about all the things that we're going to learn together. All right, I'll tell you what we need real quick, and then we'll get started. So we need your starfish. For the threes, kiddos, these are already cut out in your art bag. And for the fours, they are traced only because we're going to cut them out together. So you'll need either one of those. Fours, you'll need the scissors. You guys will all have pasta in your art bag. Some of you will have wagon wheel pasta. Some of you will have this colored pasta, and some of you will have both. They'll all be beautiful. You need some liquid glue, a paintbrush, and a marker for writing your name. If you need water while you do art, I drink lots of water when I do art. Okay, and let's start by writing our name. So today we're going to be doing the first, go ahead and take your time, I'll just explain while you're writing your name. We're going to be doing the first sea creature art project. If we have done a sea creature art project before, it's been a while. We start talking more about sea creatures as we get into spring, and I'm so excited to get into spring. I figured, why not? Let's start this month. So I was gonna ask you guys, have you ever seen a starfish in real life before? Okay, yeah. Maybe you saw one at the beach, or an aquarium. And when you saw one, if you have, did you see it on a rock? Yeah. Didn't it kind of look like the rock? Yeah. It's really hard to believe, but starfish are animals. When I've seen them, I kind of feel like they just look like a rock, but they're alive. And we're gonna learn all about how they work and a little bit about how their bodies work while we do this art project. Let's start cutting. You get your alligator mouth, hold your scissors. You can have 4 in the top, 3 or 4, and then your thumb down here. Hold your paper so it's not too close to the scissors so you don't accidentally cut yourself. And we're gonna follow the black line as much as we can. Now, you guys are really used to cutting circles because that's what we cut when we do the letters of the week. And you guys have gotten so good at that. I wanted to give you something just a little more challenging because I know you were ready for it. And so just remember, we are practicing. Just do your best. So, do you have a favorite sea animal? Like a dolphin or a whale or a shark? Okay, yeah, those are super cool. Yes. I'm fascinated by the ocean because there's so much life in the ocean that scientists are still discovering new things. And the ocean is huge. It's so big. It's bigger than all the earth on the planet by a lot. Okay. How are your cutting muscles doing? Do you need some extra? Here, you can have mine. If your hand gets tired, you just can stop and stretch it out, take a break. Perfect. Trying to focus here. And if you get frustrated or it gets challenging, just take a deep breath. And keep going. Open, close, open, close, open, close with your alligator mouth. Good job, guys. All right, keep going. Take all the time that you need. I've got my starfish. When you are done cutting, I'd love to see your starfish. So when you're done, hold it up to me, okay? Okay. So while you're finishing cutting, we are going to take the pasta out of it. Well, I'm gonna take the pasta out of my bag. You guys can take yours out of your bag when you're all done cutting. And if you need to pause the video, absolutely take whatever time you need, okay? All right, so do you think you can cut and count at the same time? Yeah? Okay, let's try it. I'm gonna count to 15. I'm gonna count 15 pieces of pasta. So count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Okay, show me your starfish. Good job. That's awesome. Your cutting muscles have gotten so strong as the year's gone on. Pretty soon, cutting is just going to be a piece of cake because you worked really hard to earn that. Okay, so go ahead and take your pasta out. And as you're taking the pasta out, think, do I want to glue a lot of pasta on my starfish or just a little bit? So I always like to glue a lot of things, and I really like the pasta because it, if you saw a starfish, did you touch it? Okay, and if you touched it, what did it feel like? It was rough, right? It was rough, and they're like kind of bumpy. Yeah, they do that. They're like that because it's a way for them to protect themselves from other animals eating them. It's also the reason why, if you saw them on a rock, they looked almost like the same color. It's camouflage, kind of like we learned about iguanas doing. And if they're almost the same color as the rock that they're on, the bigger animals aren't going to see them, so it's another way for them to stay safe. But they're really have a lot of ridges, and so I like the pasta because it's going to give it texture and look a little bit more like starfish. Okay, we're going to want to use a lot of glue. And remember, you can either put the glue right on your starfish and then use your pincher fingers. Did you bring those? Excellent. Oh, here you go. You're going to pick up your pasta and then put it on the glue that you've put on your starfish. Or you can put the glue right on the pasta. I think that might be a little bit difficult, but you can try both ways and see what works for you. Okay, so are you going to put a lot of pasta or a little bit? Okay, all right, let's get started. I did some research today, which means I looked up and I did some reading about starfish because I didn't know very much about them. Do you know anything about starfish? Yeah, they live in the ocean. Yeah. That was about the only thing that I knew about them, is that they lived in the ocean. Well, I knew that their mouths were underneath, like this is the back of the starfish, and their mouths, if you turned one over, would be over here. I did know that. That would be about the only thing I knew. So, one of the things I learned today is that when a starfish, I'm gonna use this one because it doesn't have glue on it. If something happens and they lose one of their, they call these arms, they call them arms, they can grow back. Isn't that cool? So just like a lizard, if a lizard is being chased, like say by a cat, and the cat gets the lizard's tail and it comes off, the lizard will grow a tail back. And the same thing for the arms on a starfish. Now, it takes a lot of time for the arms to grow back, but they still do. I thought that was really fascinating. Okay, I'm gonna put the glue on my starfish first and then put the pasta. Another thing that's very interesting about starfish is they have no brain and they have no blood in their body. I know. It's like, how do they do anything without a brain, right? It's pretty amazing. So I was curious about not having blood, right? Because we have blood in our bodies. Animals have blood in their bodies. So I was wondering, what does a starfish have instead of blood to, you know, make things move around and feed its systems and all of that? Well, it's the seawater. It's the ocean water gets absorbed into their bodies and they use it. Their bodies use it like blood. I know. Very interesting. And then, oh, starfish have eyes. Did you know that? I did not know that either. I want to read, where are their eyes? I want to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. Their eyes are on the ends of their arms. So out here, they've got eyes. And their eyes don't work like ours, but they do work enough that they can see light. So they can see where the water is, if the water is lighter in color or darker in color. And that helps them know where they're going when they're moving around on the ocean floor or a rock. And yes, they do move around. That was something else that was really super cool. So what they do is they have, oh yeah, they have hundreds of feet. How many feet do we have? We have 2 feet. They have hundreds of feet and they are the end of each arm. So I don't know where the eye is compared to where the feet is. Maybe that's something that you could look up. But they've got hundreds of feet and the feet scoop up the water, and that's what they use to propel themselves, to make themselves move. And they can move faster than you would think. That might be something else you could look up, is starfish walking across the ocean floor. Okay, so the last thing that I learned is that they have a mouth, right? We talked about that. So their mouth is here. If this is their back, it's here. And it's a really little tiny mouth. Well, they can eat things that are bigger than their mouths. So like, right, humans, we can't eat anything that's bigger than our mouth, right? We would choke. It would be dangerous. But starfish with their little tiny mouths, they can eat things that are much bigger than them. Yeah, and their body digests it and it feeds them. I know, pretty cool, huh? They're way more than what I thought they were. They're way more just than like a plant on a rock or a rock on a rock. Can I see? Don't lift up your starfish, but oh, that looks good. Yes, I love the pasta pieces that you put on there. So yeah, maybe you and your parents, if you want to, you could ask them to look up some more facts about starfish. I can send the website where I found this information. And then next time, if you go maybe to the beach or an aquarium and you try to find starfish, yeah, and then just kind of check them out, watch them. It would be so cool to see a starfish eat, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. Oh, sorry, the last thing is that sometimes the starfish have spikes on their back. So everything that they need to protect is on this side. So no, sorry. This is the back, and then this would be the inside. Okay, it would be the other side of their body. So their back is protecting them, and they're keeping everything safe. They're keeping their eyes safe, and their legs safe, and their mouth, and their whole body safe underneath on the other side of them. And sometimes they have spikes on their backs. And so that also helps them keep themselves safe from being eaten by a bigger animal. Your starfish looks awesome. We should maybe count and see how many pieces of pasta we put on here. So why don't you count yours first? And then when you're done counting yours, will you count mine with me? Okay, awesome. Nice, good counting. All right, let's see if I can fit one more pasta piece. And if you need more time, of course, always feel free to pause the video and take your time with this. Remember, we want art to be fun. When you are 3 and 4 and 5 years old, that's actually how you learn. You learn through fun. So the more interesting you find something, the more you want to do it, the more you want to explore, the more you're going to learn, and the more you enjoy it. Almost fits. Okay. Right. I love it. It looks just like a real starfish. Yes. Oh, and if you guys do look stuff up about starfish, please share it with me. I would love to hear all about it. Now I'm really interested in finding more out about starfish. I love learning new things. Do you like learning new things? Yeah, it's super fun. Okay, I see yours. It looks so good. Don't try to lift it. I don't want the glue or the pasta to come off. I'm gonna try. Let's see. That was super fun. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you again next time. Bye.